Thank you for joining us. Before we get started on today's episode, just a quick reminder to please smash the like button in the bottom right corner and subscribe to Locked On Senators so you can be the first to know when new content arrives. The best way to help us grow is to comment on the video as well. So let us know if this is a player you want the Sens to draft or you think they should stay away from, and let us know why as well. This is one of 64 draft profiles that we're producing, so let's get into it. Coming in at number 47, we are going back to the Swedish Junior Hockey League, Mattias Havelid. Big fan of this smaller sized defenseman, maybe not to the extent of Lane Hudson, but Pilsy, Mattias Havelid from Linkoping. We've already done one of his teammates earlier on.
Yep, and I'm glad that Mattias Havelid is right after Elias Salomonsson because they're very similar. And Ross, I'm on the flip side. I actually prefer Mattias Havelid over Salomonsson for a couple of reasons here. And they're very similar. Right shot defenseman. Havelid sits at 5'10", 172 pounds. His stats in the J20 League are 29 games played, 10 goals, 9 assists for 19 points. And then in the playoffs, he had in 8 games, 5 goals, 5 assists. And he did get a little bit more time in the SHL than Salomonsson with 23 games, but similar situation, 0 points throughout those 23 games.
Tony Ferrari has made an appearance on our rankings.
There he is.
We've told you Tony only gave us his top 32 right now. He's working on the rest. Once we get it, you'll know it. However, he's got Havelid at 32nd on his rankings, which is second highest because elite prospects who didn't even rate Salomonsson at all, they've got Havelid at 25th on their list. Scott Wheeler has him at 48 and Bob McKenzie down at 76. Not ranked at all from Craig Button. All right, so what is his biggest strength?
He's an offensive defenseman, and he has no hesitation shooting the puck from the point. And Ross, and if you guys have been listening for a while, you know I adore defensemen that use the wrist shot from the point. I find too many defensemen, they're like, let's wind up and get as much power on this slap shot from the point and just let's see where it goes. Hopefully it ends up at the net, and usually they end up missing. It's a turnover. The other team brings it the other way, and you're like, why not just take a good, well-timed, accurate wrist shot to create a better chance? And that's what Havelid does well, in my opinion. He uses the wrist shot to get through traffic, and I watch highlights on him, and he can range from a crisp, low shot that can be deflected and make its way through traffic, or if he sees an option, top cheese, he goes for it with a quick shot. And he had more goals than assists, Ross, through all 3 leagues he played in. That's very rare for a defenseman to have more goals than assists. Like normally you just get a couple secondary assists just breaking the puck out of the zone or whatever. So that just goes to show you that he likes to get the puck on net. And we know the Sens love this. He's got some family ties in the hockey world. His dad, Nicholas Havelid, had a solid career with, and I love that.
Thrashers, right? And
the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Not the Anaheim Ducks, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. That's a throwback for everyone that we haven't heard that in a while. And it doesn't stop there, Ross. His twin brother, Hugo, is a goalie for Linkoping, the same team he plays for. So that's pretty cool.
He's Hogberg's backup then.
Yes, yeah, there you go. So that's just a funny connection. Twin brothers, defenseman and a goalie. I feel like that seems pretty classic. I bet you Mattias was born a couple minutes early, so he got to say who puts the goalie pads on, and Hugo got the short end of that stick, unfortunately. But apart from that, the reason I like Havelid so much, Ross, is because he excels on the power play. Like, I feel like he could be a bottom 4 defenseman, but a top power play unit guy. Like, this is a power play specialist. As I mentioned, he can get the puck to the net. And when he's in the O-zone, like he cradles that puck. He's able to walk the line. It's just, he was made for the power play. And you might think, okay, this is an offenseman. He's a liability defensively. I don't get that impression. McKeen's Hockey states that he's still a reliable defender as well. So there's a lot to like about Havelid here, and I'm on his side.
Just looking up his dad as well, a member of the 2003 Mighty Ducks that made it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals against New Jersey there. However, he's 6 feet tall, so hopefully he's got a couple inches left in growth, talking about young Mattias. But and his brother's 5'11 as well. So you're hoping that he's not going to end up being a 5'9", 5'10 defenseman at the end of the day. I put that he's mobile, but not necessarily dynamic. He wasn't impressing me off the blue line the same way that Salomonson was, but at the same time, he was getting those wrist shots through at an extremely high rate. So there's value in that. Could he be a quarterback of a power play unit at the NHL level in time? I believe so. However, he's got to bulk up. Not only adding a couple inches, you can't understate size is important to be a defenseman at the NHL level. Sens fans know that just from what they've seen come through. You know, your Metes, your Brandstroms, there's a reason that's holding them back from being legit top 4 options.
Unless you're Lane Hudson.
Unless you're Lane Hudson. Then you're playing like Patrick Kane on the back end, and you're just buzzing out there. We had some people who were like, Lane Hudson, man, throw him with Clevin. However, you look at, it's a fair pushback. I'm just thinking, like, bulk up a little bit more. And because Lane Hudson, the way he plays defense, like, he's just stripping guys off the puck. I think that there has to be a bit more work rate with these other guys to be able to catch up to what he does. But I'd be okay with it. I got him at 3 stars, Pilsy. I think that I could talk myself into it if they take him in the second round, maybe a little bit later, because you're looking for that separating quality. What's going to make them a proper NHLer? And I think that he's got that ability to find seams through the offensive zone. He had a sick one-timer as well. He was using that in certain, so he's got a great shot, and I like that as his separating quality. If he can become a defensive-minded defenseman. Man, his dad was an unbelievable defensive defenseman at the NHL level. So not only is he going to have coaches who are going to help along the way, but having that family help, I'm sure, will help develop him into a good NHLer. So I've got him at 3 stars. How about you?
I got him at 4 stars, Ross. I just think when you're able to quarterback the power play like he is at this young age, I think he's going to have to work on the defensive side of the game, that's for sure. But he's not a liability, so it's not a red flag for me. It's something that with time he's going to get better at. The hockey bloodlines, I love that. This is someone that's very focused on the game of hockey, and he's got a professional attitude, which I think is a big bonus, and that's something the Sens value as well. That's why I put my Sens stars a little bit higher at 4 out of 5 stars here. And I really think that he would be someone that by the time he's ready for the NHL, there could be a spot for him. And I think he would help out Belleville's power play for a little bit. So many teams, like we're looking in the playoffs, like think about successful teams, Ross, like the Florida Panthers, for example. So much success in the regular season. And then what happens in the playoffs? The power play dries up and you're screwed. So if you have a defenseman that's his main specialty, and he's going to focus on making sure you're successful on the power play, I just think that's such a big bonus. So I'm a big Mattias Havelid fan.
20 points in his last 10 games of the season. He's a New Year's Day birthday, January 1st, 2004, and the offensive numbers just jump off the page here. You look at what he did at the World Under-18s, 12 points in 6 games, pretty much the opposite of what we saw from Salomonson. And then he's wearing the A as well. He's got a little bit of leadership there internationally for Team Sweden. So that impresses me a lot. But again, you got to take the deficiencies with the strengths and decide what's worthwhile. And that's why it's another divisive prospect when we look at our group of scouts here that are just unsure whether he's a first-round pick or maybe even a late third. So that's what we have on Mattias Havelid.